You know that feeling, don't you? That inexplicable sense that someone, somewhere, is carrying your name in their heart like a prayer they can't stop whispering. Carl Jung spent decades unraveling this mystery, this profound truth that our rational minds resist, but our souls have always known. We are not separate islands floating in an ocean of emptiness. We are droplets in the same vast sea, connected by invisible currents of consciousness that flow beneath the surface of what we call reality. When someone feels a deep, authentic longing for you, that energy doesn't simply dissolve into the void. It moves through the quantum fabric of existence, creating ripples that manifest as very real, very detectable signs in your physical world. Jung called these phenomena synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that reveal the hidden choreography behind what appears to be chaos. But there's something even more profound happening when the longing someone feels for you is genuine and intense. The universe itself begins to speak in a sacred language of signs and symbols, weaving messages into the fabric of your daily experience that whisper a single truth. You are being held in someone's heart with such power that it's literally altering the reality around you. The first sign arrives through your body, that sensitive instrument more precise than any technology ever created for detecting the subtle energies that move between souls. You feel it as unexplainable physical sensations, moments when your nervous system responds to electromagnetic frequencies that have no source in your immediate environment. It might be a chill that runs down your spine while you're sitting alone in a warm room, or a specific tingling that seems to recognize something your conscious mind hasn't yet processed. Sometimes it's that unmistakable sensation of presence, as if someone is standing just behind you, just beyond the edge of your vision, even when you're completely alone. This isn't imagination. Your body is responding to real bioelectromagnetic fields created by the focused emotional energy of another consciousness. When someone consistently holds you in thoughts of deep longing, that concentrated attention creates waves that travel through what mystics call the ether and quantum physicists term the non-local information field. The quality that distinguishes these sensations from ordinary physical experiences is recognition. Without being able to explain it rationally, you intuitively sense that this energy carries a specific signature, the unique emotional fingerprint of someone whose soul your soul remembers. It's often accompanied by an emotional wave that isn't yours, a quality of feeling that you can somehow associate with a particular person, even when they're nowhere near. Jung observed that our bodies often know things our rational minds haven't yet understood. The autonomic nervous system responds to energetic information long before our linear consciousness catches up to what's happening. When someone directs intense longing toward you, your cellular antenna system picks up that transmission and translates it into physical sensation. And then, there's the second sign, dreams that transcend the ordinary landscape of sleep and enter the realm of transcendental communication. Jung considered dreams to be the direct language of the collective unconscious, that dimension where all consciousnesses meet and commune without the limitations of time and physical space. When someone misses you deeply, their emotional energy creates waves in the psychic field that can manifest through extraordinarily vivid and meaningful dreams. These aren't ordinary dreams, where memories and fantasies blend into surreal narratives. These are dream experiences that carry a quality of reality so intense it leaves you questioning the boundaries between sleeping and waking consciousness. In these dreams, the person appears not as a projection of your own longing, but as a living, conscious presence that interacts with you in ways that seem impossible within normal physical laws. There's often an exchange of information, feelings, or simply an experience of closeness that leaves deep marks on your psyche. You might wake up with knowledge you didn't possess before, insights about their life, their current struggles, or simply a renewed sense of the connection that exists between you. What makes these dreams unique is their quality of bidirectional communication. It's not just you dreaming about someone. It's as if two consciousnesses are meeting on a plane where physical limitations dissolve. Jung discovered that when two people share a deep archetypal connection, their unconscious minds can literally communicate through what he called the collective psychic field. One person's intense longing creates what Jung termed a constellation in that field, an energetic pattern that can manifest in the other's dreams as actual contact, actual communion. The unconscious translates this energy using universal symbols of connection. Bridges appearing in vast landscapes, doors opening onto familiar rooms, paths that converge in sacred spaces, phones ringing with calls from beyond the ordinary world. These dreams remain vivid in your memory for days, weeks, sometimes years, unlike common dreams that fade with the morning light. They continue to influence your emotional state and your perception of that connection long after you've returned to waking consciousness. It's as if part of you never fully left that dream space, maintaining an open channel to the realm where souls can touch without the mediation of physical form. The third sign manifests as what Jung called the synchronistic cascade, a sequence of seemingly impossible coincidences that appear like an avalanche of meaning in your daily life. When someone misses you deeply, that concentrated emotional energy creates disturbances in the fabric of reality itself, organizing events in ways that keep that person constantly flowing through your consciousness. Their name appears in unlikely places, on billboards you've never noticed before, in conversations between strangers that you overhear at precisely the right moment, in books that seem to fall open to pages containing references that feel personally meant for you. Specific songs begin playing at moments of significance, as if the universe has become a cosmic DJ, responding to the emotional frequency of your connection. What differentiates these synchronicities from mere coincidences is their cumulative quality and symbolic precision. It's not just an isolated event, but a coordinated series of manifestations that seem choreographed by an intelligence that operates beyond normal causality. The universe appears to be drawing your attention to a specific connection through a language of symbols and events that transcends ordinary cause and effect. Jung explained that synchronicities operate through what he called a causal connection, an organizing force that doesn't follow linear logic but connects events through meaning and emotional resonance. When there's intense emotional charge directed toward you, that energy creates fields of attraction that magnetically draw situations, people, and experiences related to that specific connection into your orbit. You might find books they once recommended appearing in unexpected places, tucked between cushions you don't remember placing them in, displayed prominently in store windows you happen to pass during moments of deep reflection about them. You might overhear strangers discussing themes that relate directly to conversations you once shared, or receive advertisements that contain specific references to places, experiences, or ideas that have special meaning in your shared history. The precision and frequency of these synchronicities increases proportionally to the intensity of the longing being directed toward you. It's as if the strength of their emotional focus creates a more powerful organizing field, one capable of bending the normal flow of random events into patterns that spell out a single message. You are being remembered. You are being missed. You are being held in someone's heart with such intensity that reality itself is responding. And then arrives the fourth sign, telepathic transmissions that carry information about their emotional state with a precision that defies logical explanation. This is what Jung called direct knowing, information that reaches you without traveling through normal sensory channels. When someone who misses you deeply is going through significant moments, celebrations, challenges, transitions, or periods of intense reflection, You may begin to receive intuitive flashes about their emotional landscape with startling clarity. These aren't vague impressions or wishful projections. They arrive as specific knowledge about what they're experiencing, often including details that you couldn't possibly know through ordinary means. You might wake up in the middle of the night with an inexplicable certainty that they need support, only to discover later that they were indeed going through a particularly difficult period at that exact moment. Or you might be overcome with sudden waves of joy or gratitude that seem to have no source in your own life, later learning that they were celebrating a significant achievement or experiencing a breakthrough. Jung believed these experiences were evidence of our connection through the collective unconscious, that dimension of the psyche that transcends individual boundaries and connects all consciousness. When someone misses you intensely, that energy opens more direct channels of communication through this collective field, allowing information about their well-being to flow directly into your awareness. Modern neuroscience has discovered that we possess mirror neurons capable of reflecting not just physical actions, but emotional states. When a deep psychic connection exists, these neurons can remain activated across vast distances, allowing you to literally feel echoes of another person's internal experiences. It's like maintaining an open, energetic communication line that transmits emotional data in real time. What makes this phenomenon even more remarkable is its timing. These intuitions often arrive precisely when the person most needs support, positive energy, or simply the comfort of knowing they're being thought of with love. It's as if the universe coordinates these moments of psychic communication to facilitate healing and connection even through physical separation. Sometimes you'll find yourself inexplicably moved to send loving thoughts their way, to pray for their well-being, or simply to hold them in your heart with extra tenderness, only to discover later that they were navigating challenges that required exactly that kind of energetic support. It's evidence that certain connections create permanent bridges between hearts, allowing love to flow both ways through invisible channels that operate beyond the limitations of time and space. The deeper you move into this mystery, the more the universe begins to speak through the physical world itself, weaving messages into the very fabric of your material existence. The fifth sign manifests as what Jung called symbolic materialization, the tendency for objects carrying emotional significance to appear in your life in ways that defy all logical explanation. You know this phenomenon intimately, even if you've never named it. You're organizing old belongings when suddenly, there it is. A photograph you were certain you'd lost years ago, a letter you thought you'd thrown away, a small gift that carries the weight of shared memories. These objects don't surface randomly. They appear at precisely the moments when you're questioning the depth of that connection, when you're wondering if what you felt was real, when your rational mind is trying to convince your heart to let go. Jung explained this through his concept of the unus mundus, the fundamental unity between psyche and matter, between consciousness and physical reality. He believed that in states of high emotional charge, awareness can directly influence the organization of material reality, causing symbolically significant objects to manifest in seemingly impossible ways. The objects appear in drawers you've searched through countless times, in boxes you recently organized, in places where their presence defies every logical explanation. But their significance goes far beyond their mysterious appearance. They arrive as tangible evidence that certain bonds transcend the normal rules of time and space, physical confirmations that what lives in the heart continues to exist in the world. Sometimes it's a book that falls open to a page underlined in their handwriting, words you needed to remember about hope, about connection, about the way love persists even when we think it's been lost. Sometimes it's a piece of jewelry that carries their energy, appearing just when you need to feel close to them, Sometimes it's something as simple as a ticket stub from a concert you attended together, surfacing when you're doubting whether those moments of shared joy actually mattered as much as you thought they did. These materializations often come accompanied by a specific emotional sensation, a wave of nostalgia that feels like coming home, a surge of gratitude that brings tears to your eyes, or simply a deep knowing that this appearance carries a message about the continuity of love, the persistence of connection, the way souls leave permanent marks on the physical world through the intensity of their caring. The timing is never accidental. These objects appear when you most need confirmation, when you're healing from old wounds, when you're ready to receive evidence that what you shared was sacred and continues to bless your life in ways you're only beginning to understand. And then, the sixth sign reveals itself through disturbances in your personal emotional field. Sudden alterations in your emotional state that don't correspond to anything happening in your immediate experience. When someone misses you deeply, you become a receiver for their emotional transmissions, picking up waves of feeling that carry their unique energetic signature. You might be having a completely ordinary day when suddenly you're flooded with inexplicable nostalgia, sweet melancholy that tastes like autumn afternoons, and whispered promises, or profound gratitude that seems to arise from nowhere but feels intimately familiar. These emotions have a quality of exteriority. You intuitively know they don't originate from your own internal processes, but are being transmitted through invisible channels of interconnected consciousness. What makes these emotional visitations unique is their specificity. They're not vague or generic feelings, but emotions that carry the particular flavor of your connection with that specific person. It's as if you're receiving emotional postcards from their inner world, glimpses into the landscape of their heart as they think of you, miss you, carry you with them through their days. Jung understood this phenomenon through his recognition that individual psyche is just a small part of a much larger network of interconnected consciousness. When someone directs intense emotional energy toward you, part of that energy automatically flows into your own emotional field, creating echoes of what they're experiencing. It's like maintaining an emotional radio frequency that's always open between you, transmitting the subtle music of their inner world directly into yours. These transmissions intensify during significant moments in their life: birthdays, anniversaries, personal milestones, moments of deep reflection when their longing becomes particularly acute. The intensity of emotion amplifies the transmission, making it more easily detectable by your psychic receiving system. You might find yourself overcome with sudden joy on their birthday, even when you don't consciously remember the date. You might feel waves of contemplative sadness during times when they're processing difficult emotions, or unexpected surges of hope when they're moving through personal breakthroughs. The seventh sign manifests through the technological world that surrounds us, electromagnetic anomalies that would have fascinated Jung had he lived to witness our digital age. When someone feels intense longing for you, that concentrated emotional energy can influence electromagnetic fields in ways that affect the electronic devices around you with seemingly impossible precision. Your phone rings, but there's no identifiable caller. Your computer presents mysterious temporary malfunctions that resolve as quickly as they appeared. Apps open spontaneously. Old messages resurface on your screen like digital ghosts carrying emotional weight. Or your devices behave in ways that suggest an intelligence beyond their programming is trying to communicate something important. The human heart generates the body's strongest electromagnetic field, and when someone focuses on you through deep longing, that amplified heart energy can create resonance patterns that manifest through the technology you use daily. These anomalies aren't random glitches. They're concentrated around devices related to communication, as if the universe is trying to open channels for connection through the very tools we normally use to reach each other. You might receive phantom notifications from apps associated with that person, or find old conversations mysteriously appearing at the top of your message list. Your music player might spontaneously select songs that remind you of them, or your photo gallery might display their image without any action on your part. These events serve as technological reminders that certain connections operate on frequencies our current understanding of reality is still learning to recognize. The timing of these anomalies is never arbitrary. They tend to occur when you're considering reaching out to that person, when you're going through emotional processes related to them, or when they're experiencing particularly intense moments of missing you. It's as if their longing creates electromagnetic interference that finds expression through the digital extensions of your daily life. The eighth sign appears through what Jung might have called social magnetism, the way the universe orchestrates seemingly casual encounters with people who share connections to the one who misses you. You begin running into mutual friends, family members, former colleagues, or distant acquaintances of that person with a frequency that defies statistical probability. These encounters aren't ordinary coincidences. They happen precisely when you're navigating internal processes related to that person, when you need information about their well-being, or when the universe is preparing conditions for potential reconnection. The conversations that arise from these meetings often include spontaneous mentions of them, updates about their life, shared stories, or casual confirmations that they've spoken about you recently. Jung would explain these events through the concept of morphogenetic fields, the idea that emotionally connected people create invisible networks of influence that can organize events in the physical world. When someone misses you deeply, that field expands to include their social circle, creating synchronistic opportunities for indirect connection that keep the bond between you alive and active in the manifest world. What makes these encounters especially meaningful is that they often bring exactly the information or perspective you needed at that specific moment. It might be confirmation that you're remembered fondly, updates about their well-being that ease concerns you didn't even realize you were carrying, or simply validation that the connection between you remains significant in both your lives. These social synchronicities also serve as the universe's gentle way of testing your readiness for deeper reconnection. The way you respond to these indirect opportunities, the questions you ask, the interest you show, the emotions that arise, all of this influences whether and how a direct reconnection might eventually unfold. It's as if the cosmos is preparing the emotional ground for future possibilities through these carefully orchestrated human bridges. The frequency of these encounters increases dramatically during periods when the other person's longing is particularly intense. Their emotional energy creates a magnetic field that draws people from your shared social circle into your orbit, facilitating these indirect connections that maintain mutual awareness of the importance of your relationship. Sometimes these encounters feel like gifts, unexpected opportunities to hear about them, to know their well, to feel the warmth of knowing you're still part of their story, even from a distance. Other times they feel like gentle challenges, inviting you to examine your own feelings, to consider what you truly want, to decide whether you're ready to transform longing into action. Each person who crosses your path carrying news of them is like a messenger from the invisible world, confirming that certain connections create lasting imprints on the social fabric around us. Their presence in your shared community continues to generate ripples that eventually find their way back to you, carrying evidence that love creates permanent changes in the world, influencing not just two hearts, but entire networks of relationship and care. The deeper truth emerging through all these signs is that when someone holds you in their heart with genuine longing, they're not just thinking about you, they're actively participating in an ongoing creation of connection that transcends physical boundaries and influences reality at multiple levels simultaneously. Your very existence becomes magnetic, drawing toward you all the evidence you need that you are deeply cherished, consistently remembered, and held in someone's heart with a power that literally shapes the world around you. As we enter the most profound territory of this mystery, the signs become less about external manifestations and more about the fundamental transformation that occurs within you when someone holds you in their heart with such intensity that it awakens dormant aspects of your own soul. The ninth sign reveals itself through what Jung would recognize as an amplification of your ambient energetic sensitivity. Changes so subtle yet so profound that they alter how all of life responds to your presence. When someone misses you deeply, consistently surrounding you with thoughts of love and longing, that focused energy literally raises your vibrational frequency, making you more magnetic at every level of existence. You begin to notice that animals respond to you differently, more drawn to your energy, more trusting, more openly affectionate. Dogs approach you on the street for no apparent reason, their intuitive nature recognizing something luminous in your field. Cats seek your attention with unusual persistence, and birds seem less fearful in your presence, as if they detect a quality of harmlessness, of love, that naturally attracts them. Even plants in your environment begin to flourish in ways that can't be explained by changes in care or conditions. Your houseplants grow more vibrantly, bloom unexpectedly, or simply radiate a vitality that mirrors the increased life force flowing through you. It's as if the loving energy directed toward you creates an overflow that nourishes everything in your immediate environment. People, too, respond to this subtle but unmistakable shift in your presence. Strangers smile more readily, conversations flow more easily, and you find yourself receiving unexpected kindness in daily interactions. There's something different about your energy, more present, more radiant, more authentically you, that draws positive responses from everyone you encounter. This isn't imagination or wishful thinking. Genuine longing, especially when rooted in love and gratitude, generates specific frequencies that can measurably elevate your energetic vibration. You become a walking blessing, carrying the amplified love directed toward you and radiating it into every space you enter. It's one of the most beautiful consequences of being consistently held in someone's loving thoughts. You literally become more beautiful, more magnetic, more alive. The 10th sign manifests as a dramatic intensification of your natural psychic and intuitive abilities. When someone misses you deeply, the energy of that connection acts as a spiritual amplifier, awakening latent gifts of subtle perception that may have remained dormant for years. Your intuition becomes razor-sharp, your dreams take on prophetic qualities, and your ability to perceive the hidden emotional currents around you expands exponentially. You might find yourself knowing things you have no logical way of knowing, insights about situations that prove remarkably accurate, hunches that lead to exactly the right opportunities, or simply a much stronger connection to your own inner wisdom and spiritual guidance. It's as if you're receiving a continuous energetic initiation that unlocks aspects of consciousness you didn't even know you possessed. Jung observed that genuine love has the extraordinary power to awaken dormant potentials in the beloved. When someone consistently holds you in thoughts of deep appreciation and longing, that focused attention can literally activate neural pathways and energetic channels that expand your natural perceptual abilities. You're being spiritually nourished by that loving connection, allowing the more subtle aspects of your consciousness to flourish and develop. This enhancement often extends beyond personal intuition into increased sensitivity to synchronicities throughout all areas of your life. Meaningful coincidences multiply, patterns become more apparent, and you develop an almost supernatural ability to navigate life through spiritual guidance rather than purely logical analysis. It's as if the love directed toward you creates a protective field that helps you align with your highest path more easily. Modern science is beginning to validate what mystics have always known, that deep emotional connections can influence brain function, pineal gland activity, nervous system responses, and even genetic expression related to heightened perception. You're literally being upgraded at a cellular level by the consistent loving attention focused on you across any distance. The 11th sign emerges as what Jung would call temporal resonance, an inexplicable synchronization between your significant life moments and those of the person who holds you in their heart. You begin to discover that when you're experiencing important milestones, celebrations, challenges, or periods of growth, they're simultaneously going through parallel experiences or thinking intensely about you with remarkable precision. This synchronization transcends casual coincidence and enters the realm of what Jung termed temporal synchronicity, the idea that archetypally connected souls can experience alignment not just of external events, but of internal timing and parallel life experiences. Your journeys begin to follow coordinated rhythms that reflect the underlying unity of your spiritual paths and the deep interweaving of your personal destinies. You might be celebrating a significant achievement only to discover later that at the exact same moment, they were remembering you with pride and joy, sending you energetic celebration across whatever distance separates you. Or you might be navigating a particularly challenging period only to learn that they were simultaneously surrounding you with thoughts of strength, support, and healing energy. This temporal resonance is especially evident during moments of accelerated spiritual growth, deep emotional healing, or important life transitions. It's as if your souls maintain constant communication through dimensions that transcend ordinary time, coordinating your personal developments for maximum mutual benefit and synchronized evolution. You might find yourselves going through similar life lessons, facing parallel challenges that require identical types of personal growth, or experiencing insights and realizations that mirror each other with uncanny precision. This synchronization suggests that certain connections operate at levels that transcend individual experience and reflect a greater purpose unfolding through both lives simultaneously. Sometimes you'll have a profound realization about forgiveness, self-love, or personal power, only to discover later that they were working through the same internal territory at the same time. Other times you'll feel called to make significant life changes and learn that they, too, were being guided toward major transformations during the same period. It's evidence that some souls are genuinely walking parallel paths, supporting each other's evolution even when they're not consciously aware of the coordination taking place. And finally, the 12th and most transcendent sign, the unmistakable sensation of their energetic presence during your most sacred moments of spiritual connection. When you're meditating, praying, or simply in natural states of expanded consciousness, you might feel as if they're spiritually present, offering unconditional love, energetic support, or sacred companionship through the invisible dimensions of reality. This isn't wishful thinking or romantic fantasy. This is a genuine experience of spiritual communion that completely transcends physical and temporal limitations. During your deepest moments of spiritual openness, you might distinctly feel their unique energetic signature, that unmistakable essence that is purely them, as if the barriers between your consciousness have temporarily dissolved, allowing direct union of souls that reveals the true interconnected nature of all existence. Jung believed profoundly that in elevated states of consciousness, we have direct access to what he called the pleroma, that dimension of reality where all separations are illusory and all consciousness exists in perfect unity. When someone feels deep spiritual longing for you, especially when that longing is based on genuine soul recognition rather than mere personality attraction, it can create direct bridges of connection through this transcendent dimension. These experiences often arrive accompanied by sensations of ineffable peace, unconditional love that transcends any ordinary human emotion, cosmic gratitude for the very existence of the connection, or simply an absolute inner knowing that you remain united in ways that transcend any external circumstances. It's as if your souls regularly meet in sacred dimensions, maintaining a connection that no physical separation can truly break. During these moments of spiritual communion, you might receive profound insights about the nature of your relationship, understandings about the greater purpose your lives serve together, or simply a renewal of certainty that certain connections are eternal and sacred. These experiences often leave you with lasting sensations of blessing, spiritual protection, and connection to something infinitely greater than individual existence. The reality of these experiences is confirmed by their consistency, their emotional depth, and by the specific insights they often provide about the other person's current spiritual state or life circumstances. They're not vague fantasy projections, but precise communions that frequently include accurate information about their inner world that you couldn't possibly know through ordinary means. What emerges through all 12 of these signs is a profound truth that Jung spent his entire life exploring. At the deepest level of reality, we are all interconnected through fields of consciousness that operate beyond conventional limitations of time and space. When someone misses you deeply, when that longing arises from genuine love, soul recognition, sincere gratitude, or profound appreciation for the impact you've had on their life, that intense emotional energy becomes an active force in the universe that works consistently to maintain, honor, and celebrate the sacred bond between you. These signs aren't mere psychic curiosities or interesting paranormal phenomena. They're direct manifestations of fundamental principles about how consciousness operates at levels that conventional science is only beginning to understand. Each sign is a specific way the universe communicates that certain connections are genuinely sacred, that true love creates energetic bonds that absolutely transcend all apparent limitations of physical reality. If you've recognized several of these signs in your own experience, allow yourself to fully acknowledge the extraordinary depth of connection that exists between you and that person. No matter what external circumstances, past misunderstandings, geographical limitations, or timing challenges may have created temporary separation, at the most fundamental level of soul, you remain united through invisible threads of love, mutual recognition, and shared purpose that no external force can truly sever. Jung taught that our greatest healing, spiritual growth, and personal realization come through conscious recognition of these deep archetypal connections and the genuine honor we give them in our lives. When someone misses you in an authentic and profound way, it's powerful testimony to the reality of love that transcends form, circumstance, time, and limitation. It's sacred confirmation that you've impacted a life in ways that have left permanent, transformative marks on another soul. Allow yourself to receive these subtle communications from the universe with deep gratitude, spiritual reverence, and recognition of their magnitude. They're genuine gifts, unmistakable evidence that you are deeply loved, consistently remembered, and held in someone's heart in ways that create waves of healing, beauty, and meaning through invisible dimensions of reality. And if you feel genuinely called to reach out to that person, trust completely in the higher wisdom of the signs you've received. The universe doesn't create these elaborate, coordinated manifestations without divine purpose. Sometimes these signs are direct invitations for conscious reconnection and renewal. Other times they're sacred confirmations that the love you've shared continues to bless both lives in mysterious, invisible, and profoundly transformative ways. The mystery of human connection continues to unfold. The bond remains active and dynamic. And love, true love that recognizes soul in soul through all superficial layers of personality, never truly disappears. It simply finds new, creative, and endlessly surprising forms of expression through the infinite and poetic language of our interconnected cosmos. You are more loved than you know, more remembered than you imagine, and more cherished than your heart has yet dared to believe. These signs are the universe's way of whispering that truth directly into your soul.